In this ZenWorks Service Desk version 8.3.1 video, we'll discuss how configuring the AzureAD user source would look to the technicians and customers. And here we can see the normal ZSD login. As soon as we put in the full qualified username that's in AzureAD, once we select Next, we'll see the Login with AzureAD Login button. Now it's going to verify with AzureAD that it's a valid username. If it's not a valid username, the standard ZSD username password will show up. Once we select Login with Azure, we can see that it will ask us to approve on the Microsoft Authenticator app on our mobile device. Once we approve that on our app, it will then log us into ZSD. You can see here now that we're logged in to the technician portal. Now let's look at the customer portal. Same conditions apply, where we need to put in the fully qualified AzureAD username, which will present the Login with Azure button. Once we select Login with Azure, it'll verify with AzureAD, and this particular user is already logged in to AzureAD, so it went directly to the customer portal. Another thing to note is we have items in the store. If a customer raises a request against a particular item, for instance, this hardware type 8 item, we can have it automatically added to the group. So by default, the extension override is off. We'll select it on, and then select the LDAP group extension. Then you can also find the LDAP groups that we've imported. By selecting them, we've selected All Company and ZSD Tech as the groups. Once we save that, we can then go to the customer portal and raise a request against that item. You go into the store, select the item. Once we raise this request for this item, we can see 100013 has been successfully created. Let's check the request. 100013. We see this request come in. If we look at AzureAD, we can see All Company only has one user in the group. Once we select Open or Canceled, we can see in AzureAD that Vibojane will then be present in this group automatically. And that's the login for AzureAD. This concludes the AzureAD login video.